Hey guys. Ew, I hated that.
Okay, let's try.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Okay, we have not even started. Okay.
Hey guys. So today we are going to be telling a story time that I've been wanting to tell now for a long time.
The best day of our lives.
The absolute best day of my life. And it happened 2 years ago today.
But also the worst day of my life.
Got deep. Alright, so where does this day really begin?
I know where.
You weren't there when it began.
Well, exactly. Well, I don't really know how it began for you, but how it began for me. I was at Jack's, and you texted me, do you want to go canoeing with me and Grace? And I was like, on my fucking way. And then I remember something about your dad trying to make ham sandwiches.
Yeah, so...
And he was, like, trying to plan things.
Yeah, so
we were like,
I woke up the morning of this specific day already unwell.
I remember you being sick.
I was hungover from the night before.
Oh, well, yeah, that.
So Grace rolls up to my house already upset with me for many reasons. And basically, I was like, hey girl, I'm going on a canoe trip today with my family, do you want to come? And then I was like, you know, Kay's gonna be pissed if we go without her, so let's invite Kay.
It would have been. The Anthony family fun
So-
day and I'm not there.
I'm not really sure when she got to my house, but I'm not sure if this was before or after this happened, but I went into my kitchen and stole the rest of a bottle of Smirnoff.
We were in the kitchen helping your dad prepare these sandwiches that he wanted to prepare. And we were all standing there, and you just started pouring the bottle from the Smirnoff bottle into a water bottle. And, we were all standing there watching. Your dad was, looking over, looking at you.
Yeah, he wasn't happy that it was happening. He wasn't stopping it.
He didn't stop us. He didn't say anything, but he didn't provide it. And he necessarily wasn't, happy about it. So we have a water bottle of vodka now.
So we have a water bottle of vodka now.
And some dreams. We'll edit that out.
I loved that. So then I decide that my dad's gonna drive separately with my two little sisters, and I'm going to drive me, Kay, Grace, my sister, and her friend Joe, all in my car.
But we already are planning that we're gonna make Sydney drive home, who only has her temps.
Yes.
That's already our plan because we have the vodka already. We already know we're not driving home.
Yeah.
And we want Grace, all three of us.
Let's make this specifically clear at the beginning of the video. We wanted Grace in on all of it.
We wanted Grace in on all of it. We thought she was gonna be drunk with us. Anyway, that didn't have to end up happening.
That's not how it happened at all.
Point.
Alright, anyways, we'll get to that.
Fast forward. Rewind. I think I'd be a good YouTuber, honestly.
Okay, good. Maybe you should start your own channel. So, this isn't even really part of the story, but we tried to go to Chick-fil-A, but it was Sunday, and it was closed.
I think I wanted the Chick-fil-A.
Because I brought my sake.
In a mug. Cup. In a to-go mug.
A little thermos. Yeah. No fork. I was planning on drinking it.
And she did.
I did. We'll get to that in a second. So we get to the canoe place, and my dad has to go inside and
he disappears for a while. Yeah. He ended up yelling at me and Grace about something.
Yeah, the typical.
Well, I kept in my purse with me at all times for emergencies. What are those things? Those packet
little
shakers.
Crystal Light peach.
Those Crystal Light things, but it was peach tea. And then I kept it in my purse, so if I needed a chaser, instant chaser,
Pour it. You don't pour it into water.
No. That's what you do. You do pour it into water. But we just had a bottle of vodka.
Such an alcoholic.
Yeah, dude. You pour it, that's how I make Crystal Light. You're supposed to pour it in water and then use that as a mixer if you want.
That's not what we did that day.
That's not what you would do in most. Anyway, we just had a water bottle of vodka and just poured the Crystal Light packet in it and shook it up, and
we finally have our paddles, and we have to ride on this little bus down to where they let you
go canoeing. I just lost it.
All right, well, whatever. So they drive you to this place and you get your canoes. Everyone's picking out their canoes, and my dad has our paddles. And my dad calls over Grace to sit in his canoe.
Well, there was already arguments. At no cost did he want to ride with Savannah. He did not want to ride with Savannah. That was, like, his only rule. He was like, anyone but Savannah, like, and we're like, felt. And, just kidding. There's that ADD. What were we talking about? He had Lil and needed someone else, and it was deciding between me and Grace. And I was like, yo, you guys know me and Craig can't get along in a canoe all day.
I offered to go in the canoe many times.
And he refused to get in the canoe with Savannah. Yeah. I refused to get in the canoe with him.
Grace was the only one left.
Grace was the only option for many reasons. But you could say we made Grace go in the canoe with her dad and Lil.
Yeah. Okay. So Grace gets in the canoe with my dad, and my dad has all of the paddles. I guess he forgot. Maybe he did it on purpose as revenge for I don't know what.
I think it was an accident, to be completely honest. Like, I don't think there was any malintention. But he didn't give us our paddles. He just got in the fucking river.
He was like, come on, girls. We didn't even have a canoe yet. So Kay and I go over to get our canoe, and I look over my left shoulder, and guess who's gone? Everyone. My whole family was already down the stream. I don't really remember this part specifically.
And they had all the paddles.
They had all the paddles. So basically, these two guys behind us, they're like, here, take one of our paddles. With your
we have to go, like, be like, help us. Like, did we actually call for help, actually?
No, they were standing behind us and heard us saying, like, oh, my whole family's down the stream with our paddles. So they were like, hey, here, I'll give you one paddle. I'll have the other. We can both just canoe down the stream together until you get your paddles. So we start paddling down the stream. I start paddling down the stream. Kay didn't do anything. I started paddling down the stream.
I was there for moral support.
With one paddle.
Yeah, well.
And I was also sipping on my sake this whole time, slowly. And
yeah, that's pretty gross, but it was happening.
And we were like sipping on the peach like vodka Crystal Light mixture. We finally catch up with my family, and my dad's like, "Here's your like paddles, whatever." So we're like paddling so slow, like so slowly, because we're trying to stay behind so we can drink this bottle of vodka that we have. And my dad turns around. He's like, "Guys, is that Greg?"
My brother. My older brother.
Her older brother
is a real good time. So we're like, Greg?
Okay, so we look over in the distance, and we see 3 canoes all linked together. Like a super canoe.
And they called it the super canoe. It's Greg and his friends. We don't know these details yet. All we know is that Greg's up there, and we're like, we gotta get up there.
We paddled the fastest we had.
All of a sudden, we've been like laying there like, bleh, like messing around. We're like, we look at each other, we're like, let's go. We're like fucking speed paddling. We fly by her whole family, and we catch up to Greg.
Grace is pissed, by the way.
Oh, we missed the most important part. When we yelled to Grace to jump in our canoe.
Oh.
When we were paddling away from the family and towards Greg, we're like, Grace, jump in. Like, this is your last chance. Get in this canoe. Like,
my dad wouldn't let her go. She didn't want to get in the water.
And she's like, we invited her. We were like, Grace, come on.
There was an invite there that we're going to make that.
We're going to make that note.
Yeah. Because we are pretty much the worst people in the entire world to
but just
her
the
tiny,
rest of the day. The tiny little things that we can add. Like, by the way, we did invite her. Like,
yes.
it adds to our character. Just a tiny bit.
So, we finally catch up to Greg's canoe.
And they're like, yo, get your life jacket, tie on, like, add on to our canoe.
Yes.
And we're like, no hesitation. Like, yeah, this is a good idea
and
right now.
Pull up
Even though we came here with Savannah's whole family. We're like,
we pull up to this canoe, and immediately the drinks are being handed to me.
Oh, they have a cooler. They're throwing Jello shots at us. They're like, here.
Please don't do that. It's my hair that I just put water in.
Please don't do that to my hair that I just put water in. Like, it was expensive. Okay,
right.
Anyway.
Alright, so we start getting wild on our canoe a little bit with Greg and his friends.
Yeah.
His friends were the wildest people I've ever met in my life. I've never seen...
like, arguably his rowdiest group.
I've never seen more tears pour out of a girl's eyes before.
Yeah,
I've never seen
crying our eyes
I've
out.
never seen a girl flip out of a canoe by accident more times in my entire life. They weren't good. They were not good. I don't think we've talked about this part, like, before. Do you remember Greg swimming, biting that green?
Yeah, we're not there yet, bro. The pepper, when he was swimming to save
I mean,
that.
I don't
oh,
really...
wait, no, yeah, that we are pretty much already there. Some people needed saving. These two, like, old ladies or old people or something were stuck on a tree or something, and they needed saving. And Greg's like...
He was eating
by
the
the
green
way,
pepper like an
snacks,
apple.
He brought a bunch of like peppers and was just trying to pass them around and like have people eat them like an apple. And it was like fucking covered in like river water, and he's like eating it like
he's like holding it out of the water.
So
as
then,
he's swimming.
well, he jumps in to rescue. He starts swimming to save this. And swims over and is swimming with his fucking pepper. Swimming with one arm, holding his pepper to safety with the other arm, and like frees these old people. Like, I don't know.
I don't really remember much more being attached to them, besides when the big situation happened that changed our fate for the rest of the day. So... So we're attached to the super canoe. Everyone's good. Everyone's chilling. We're having a good time streaming down the river, okay? Me and Kay kind of hear people shouting our names, and like we look over, and my whole entire family is we're up on the exit. Just for a little time reference, we got there at about 12:15, 12:30. Around this time, it's probably like 1 or 2 because we were only on the 3-mile path. Me and my family and everyone that I was with. Greg, on the other hand, was with another canoe rental and was going on like the 9-mile path. So at this point, it's probably like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and we look over and my whole family is just screaming at us that we missed our exit. So me and Kay unlatch ourselves from the super canoe.
We're like, gotta go, guys.
Peace. We tried to row
like upstream. We were trying to paddle upstream.
We tried to paddle upstream back to the exit.
Back to the exit that we passed.
I think that's the first time we flipped our canoe. I would say...
Yeah, because it would have been as soon as we disconnected.
Oh yeah, about 5 seconds from disconnecting from the super canoe.
Immediately flip. I mean, we couldn't keep our canoe
backwards,
straight.
Flip immediately. But I remember from that point on probably flipping every 30 to 45 seconds.
I'd say sooner than that. Like, it
like,
would take
we
us...
would unfill the water.
It would take us, like, 20, 25 minutes to unflip. To unflip the canoe. Like, you'd have to drag it to shore.
I don't know.
And empty the water to flip it. And we were completely physically incapable.
Like, I was up on shore, pulling at one point. Pulling the canoe up this, like, hill. Kay is trying to help out and trying to push.
I'm throwing up over my shoulder. Like, I just remember, like, purple fucking jello shots. I'm just throwing up purple over my shoulder,
like,
trying to push
down,
this canoe. Like, we couldn't keep the canoe afloat.
Yeah.
We had to be rescued. Yeah, we got rescued like 6 times, Savannah.
Yeah.
Every time we'd flip our canoe, like, we wouldn't be able to unflip it, and people would have to help us empty the water and reflip it and help us get in and like push us off and be like, good luck. Also, and we'd flip it within fucking seconds.
I just want to put this image in your head. There were people that were just trying to enjoy their day, their nice Sunday, streaming
rowing along
the
greater Miami River.
An old couple just going in the background in case throwing up a purple jello shot as I'm trying to pull this like 200-pound canoe out of the water.
The sun was like setting. Like, I remember like crying. Like,
wait, hold on. Let me get to that part. What's the point? Like, I don't really remember, like, much besides just trying to, like, keep our canoe not flipped for about 4 or 5 hours.
I mean, this went on for...
hours.
Because keep in mind, if we're flipping every couple seconds, we're not making any progress down the river.
So not only did we miss the 3-mile exit, and the 6-mile exit, and the 9-mile exit of our own canoe company's rental place, we also missed all of the ones from Greg's.
I don't know what... No, we
missed all of the ones from Greg's besides the 9-mile.
Yeah. We had, like, 1 shot left.
We had 1 shot left, and we didn't know that. I honestly, truly did not know that there was another egg. I didn't know where any of the exits were.
We had no concept of anything. We are out there just like, we're gonna die out here. Like, the sun is setting.
Okay.
We can't keep our canoe afloat. We have no idea. We have no phones. We have nothing.
So
we are nothing.
There comes to a point in the night, we've probably been canoeing by ourselves about 5 hours now. Keep in mind, my whole family got done at around 1 or 2. So it gets to the point where me and Kay are just exhausted. We're so belligerent. I remember our canoe got stuck in this very shallow water. It was full of water, so there was no way to move it by myself. I look over and Kay, remember I said shallow, okay? Shallow water. Kay is floating. Kay is floating on her back. She's floating on her back. She's like, Savannah, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it anymore.
Like, I'm straight up ready to give up. Like, that's where we're at. Like, I think this is life or death.
She started just going with the stream, like, not even
I was like, let go and let God. Like, this is over for us, Savannah. Like, I know.
I have no concept that the water is so shallow.
We're in, like, 2-inch
like, literally,
deep water.
like, this deep. And I am swimming, like, front stroke. Like, just swimming. My knees, by the end, were bleeding everywhere from hitting them on rocks.
Her legs against but she didn't know it. She was
So
she's just trying to save my life.
So I'm like, I'm grabbing the life jackets, I'm gonna get this canoe out, and we're getting out. The sun is setting. Like, I had no concept of time, but I remember the sun setting.
That's all I was like. I was like, we're dead.
So I like I collect both of the things. I'm like trying to pep talk Can to not like just giving into the river.
Giving into the river.
And so I grab our life jackets and I throw them up like on this like hill. I'm like trying to stand there and pull this canoe full of water stuck in the mud.
Like the past 5 hours. Like
yeah. So these people come over and they're like, they offered us to go
rope swinging.
Rope swinging with them.
And we did.
Kay's like resurrecting out of the water. She's like, let's go rope swinging. Okay, by the way, we forgot that we went rope swinging until the next day or until later that night. Like, we did not remember that we went
remember
rope
now.
We remember now.
Now it's a pretty good memory. Keep in mind, her family got done hours ago. 5 hours ago. It's been a while.
The sun is setting.
The sun is setting. We were just crying for our lives, and now we're like,
let's go rope swinging.
Tight. Let's rope swing.
We go rope swinging, I guess, and then we see this other canoe start to drift down the stream, and it turns out to be one of Greg's friends.
From the super canoe.
From the super canoe, but they were like a couple, so they kind of like stayed behind. Apparently, they have a whole other story. They have a whole other story of their own.
That's a
the
whole
super canoe went down in flames. Lots of bad things happened. They were left. They found us. They were our saviors. They really were.
I don't know what about us was screaming, rescue us, but they got the sign.
They picked us up from the rope swings because we told them that our canoe was downstream more.
We like ditched our canoe. We're like, yeah, let's go rope swing. They rowed us
back to
our canoe. One of us stayed in the canoe with one of them.
Yeah.
Details at this point are fuzzy. Neither of us were in charge of rowing is the point. Like, we were just
one of them got our canoe on whatever mess we made it in. They fixed it. I was in one canoe. She was with the other person, whatever.
And they delivered us to shore.
So we start rowing. I had no concept. Like, looking back, I had no idea if there was another exit, how many... I didn't
know where we were going.
I had absolutely no clue where I was going. And all of a sudden...
It didn't matter. It was just kind of like, we were gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
You were like...
Basically. Like, we accepted death. Kind of. I mean, she gave up.
I was like, I can't do it anymore. That gives me no hope for what I'd be like in a zombie apocalypse. Like,
I would literally be
this
fighting
much
for
adversity, and I'm
my
like,
knees are bleeding, and I'm like swimming to you. If that doesn't describe our relationship,
I can't do it
I don't know
anymore. I'm ready to float off.
We get to a point where there's like this little like shore area. They're like, oh, this is the last exit. And we're like, oh, really? Okay, sweet. We see our friend, crossed arms,
We're like,
straight face,
Grace?
staring at us. We were so happy to see her. We
Yeah.
were like,
Yeah.
I was standing up on the canoe, jumping up and down, like, Grace, oh my god.
Jumping up, like, running.
Oh, like, I was so happy to see this girl, because, okay, whatever, they get it, we thought we were gonna die. So, so I see her, and she literally, her lip is quivering, because she is about to literally start bawling her eyes out. And that's when I kind of realized something was wrong.
Savannah's self-awareness, like, turned on. Mine was, like, down the drain.
Kay looked at her and
blacked
said,
out.
Grace, why are you always so pissy?
Behavior
Like,
here.
literally looked into our friend's eyes with a quivering lip and tears built up. Why do you always have to be so pissy? I don't think you'll fully understand how mad she was until you hear her side of the story.
It's like drunk K, you know the little drunk guy on your shoulder? Drunk K's an asshole, dude.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, this story is gonna make no sense to you if you don't hear her part of the story, but my car is at this exit, and it's Sydney, Joe, and Grace. My dad, nowhere to be found. My other two sisters, nowhere to be found. It's just them three. Grace is driving my car. Sydney's in the passenger seat, pissed, so pissed. Everyone in that whole area was just very upset with
Very
us.
upset.
The
worried.
workers were also mad.
Gross.
That wasn't even our canoe rental exit. That was her brother's.
Yeah, so we were like returning shit to the wrong place. Like,
We get in the car.
Goodness.
I look at the clock, see that it's about 7:45 p.m.
keep in mind, they got done at
Like 1:32.
1:30 to 2, and we got done at 7:45 p.m.
So from the time that we look back and they're jumping up and down, hey guys, you missed your exit, come back. That time to 7:45 p.m.
A lot
Where were
happened.
Where
But
were
we don't have many details besides that we were rope swinging there for a little bit. Crying, throwing up, drowning.
I mean, that's a great way to put it. We get in the car, Grace is driving, Cindy's screaming at all of us. Kay is laughing, like punching me in the back seat, like, Savannah, this shit's so funny. Like,
It was still funny
Okay,
at that point.
and
at that point, I was still blackout
literally
drunk.
like, what did I just do? Like, I'm the worst person I've ever met in my life.
It's also like her family trip too. Like,
yeah, it was my last.
This
like,
is all
family-
hitting her like a little harder than it's hitting me. I'm just kind of like.
And I'm like looking out the window, like trying like to comprehend everything that I just did. And so we get back to my dad's house, and apparently my dad had left Sydney, Joe, and Grace at the canoe rental place by themselves because he had to drop my sisters off so my mom could pick them up. So just coincidentally, right when we pull in the driveway, my mom pulls right behind us. I'm sitting in the back seat of my own car. Everyone else is out of it. And I am so hammered. I'm just sitting there in a ball. I had lost everything. I had lost everything in the river. I was wearing a sweatshirt I found in the backseat of my car because I lost my pants. I lost my sweatshirt. I had a bathing suit on that I had on since 12 that morning. I was just not okay to be seen. So I'm rolled up in the car. Everyone else is out of the car, so suspicious. So then she like waits there for about 3 minutes, like clearly just eyeing me down, and then drives away. So I see that she drives away, I get out of the car, and it's just me, Kay, and Grace. I'm not really sure where Cindy and Joe went, but they're pretty unimportant now in the story.
Your mom was there to pick Sydney
Oh.
up.
God, okay. Now it all makes sense. I didn't even know why my mom was there. Like, I literally, like, thought she was there to pick up my sisters. Okay. So me and my mom probably hadn't talked in about, like, a year and a half. All my sisters were, like, under the age of 10 besides Sydney.
They knew we were drinking
They knew we were
Apparently.
drinking, and
Apparently our water bottle was not sneaky enough, and
Yeah.
they, like, told on us.
They told my mom that we were drinking. Yeah. So basically I get out of my car, and it's me, Kay, and Grace. And Grace, lips still trembling, looking at me and Kay, and I'm like, Kay, like, how are we supposed to get you back home? Like, you're supposed to be going to the lake.
That night. Me and Greg were, but we were both hammered, so we had to delay it until the morning.
Yeah. Grace was like, no, I'll drive you guys. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, I think we just tried to, like, get out. We were like, we're gonna ride.
And I literally had not said a single word since I entered the car. It was all Kay being like, no, Grace, you don't have to take us. Like, I am, like, looking down at the ground, like, not really speaking this whole time. Yeah. We finally agree, and we get in Grace's car, and she drives us here to Kay's. I don't really remember who apologized first. I think it was Kay. She was like, I'm sorry. If you know Kay, that is surprising.
Yeah, it really is.
Very surprising that she apologized.
Like, that was totally our beat.
And,
like, she really deserved the apology.
And, like, maybe...
I don't give out apologies when they're not deserved. But,
and
like,
maybe
dude,
we should... Like, Grace literally thought in her head that that was the end of our friendship. She was done. Like, she was completely done with us.
Fair. Like, totally fair, dude.
And,
like,
yeah, like, wow.
We've had friends leave us for much less.
Right? So, we get inside... Kay apologizes first. She's, like, kind of, like, emotional. She's having an emotional thing.
Yeah, I don't really remember what that was about.
She was crying about soap a little bit, like, later, like, maybe 5 minutes later. She didn't want to use bar soap because she thought it was different than the soap in the bottle. And she thought it would make her smell weird, so. And
at this point.
So Kay's upstairs showering, and me and Grace are just, like, you know, on the couch downstairs. And I turn to her and immediately start bawling my eyes out. But I remember just, like, crying a lot, apologizing a lot, and her being, like, for, like, a few, like, minutes and, like, not knowing what to say. I really get done, and I'm like, all right, like, I'm sorry, like, you can talk. Like, please tell me how terrible of a friend I am. Please tell me how terrible of a person I am. So she looks at me, she's like, you know what, Savannah? It's okay. It's fine. Kay comes downstairs. Everything is good.
We took a Snapchat. We were like, hee, friends again.
And mom, bitch. This is, like, moments after we had just made up. Next day, Kay had to go to the lake. I might, like, put, like, a little, like, snippet of
your next morning.
Of the next morning for me. Hey, everyone. Welcome to my vlog. Currently sitting outside of Kay's house. They had to lock all the doors to go to the lake. So, my dad told me that he was gonna come pick me up an hour ago. And so I'm kind of stranded outside. So I called my gram. She hasn't driven in a few months, but she's on her way to get me. Gram coming to the rescue. Also, yesterday went canoeing. Lost everything that I own. I literally have no shoes. All I have is this red sweatshirt. I'm toasting in the sun. It's just really hot. And, you know, I'm not gonna stress it. I'm just gonna... So, Graham doesn't own a cell phone. So, hopefully she doesn't get lost. That'd be bad. Called my dad's phone about 20 times. He hasn't answered yet, so we're just chilling. Well, everyone, thanks for joining me. I'll keep you updated on what's happening. Yeah, bye. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is our story. I'm gonna try to get my sister, Sydney, a little, like, part of her story. My friend Grace, we were gonna film this with her, but she's
in Hawaii, living her best life, so
Seriously.
Sorry we had to do this without you, Grace.
Yeah.
It's the 2-year anniversary.
Right, and I thought it would be so fitting, like, 2 years, who would have thought? Like, I honestly thought I was gonna die on that trip.
Me too, and who would ever thought Grace would be our friend again?
Here we are 2 years later. So, yeah, I hope you liked this video. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.
Stop.